Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. My name is Doug, and today we're going to make our third fish dish for Christmas. Yes, Christmas. I know it's July. But as I stated in past videos, this Christmas we're going to have an Italian Christmas. And it's an Italian tradition to serve 7 different fish dishes. So the first one that we did back in May was a fish pie, which consisted of cod. And then last month we did shrimp scampi. And this month we're gonna be doing scallops. Now I've made my own scallops before. You buy it frozen and then you cook it up yourself and season it yourself. But I found this at Target. It says my fish dish, lemon and herb butter based scallops. So I'm gonna try that because if it's good, I'll probably do that at Christmas time because you want to squeeze in some easy dishes. The fish pie will take a little while. Shrimp scampi isn't that bad. It goes fairly quickly. But if you can squeeze in a couple of easy fish dishes at Christmas time, I think you should. But we're going to be serving some linguine noodles with this, and I am going to be making my own sauce that goes along with it. It's a butter, garlic, lemony cheese sauce actually it's a creamy sauce because we're going to be using some heavy cream and milk. So hopefully you'll stay tuned today and we'll make our scallops yum. Stay tuned. Okay, so basically I'm following the instructions on this packaging, and all you do is you get a baking dish, you grease it, and then the scallops are already seasoned, and I see they put these butter little discs in here, which will melt, and the scallops will cook in that butter. And it's for 8 to 10 minutes at 400 degrees, and halfway through you just want to rotate the dish around so it gets baked all around. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to start working on our sauce. Now I already put on my pasta pot back there, heating up my water, and we're going to cook our linguine noodles for 10 minutes. You want to make sure you salt your water really well, and we'll start making our sauce, so stay tuned. In my frying pan here, all I'm going to do is put on the heat. I'm going to melt 4 tablespoons of butter. We want to melt that because we're going to cook or put our garlic in there and cook up 3 garlic toes that have been minced. And we'll just place that in there. And then we're going to add our cream. We're going to be using 1 cup of cream and a half cup of milk. And we're going to also add a little white wine, just a little bit. And we're also going to add lemon juice and lemon zest, and salt and pepper. That's going to be our sauce for our scallops. Now our scallops already is going to be baking with its own buttery sauce, but this is really for the pasta. But the scallops will be on top too, so it's going to be so good. Stay tuned. Okay, so my butter has melted. I'm just going to add my 3 garlic toes here. And I'm just going to cook that up just a little bit. This is on a low to medium heat right now. So let's just cook up our garlic just a little bit before we add our wine. Now, what's so great about this sauce, it's very similar to the sauce that we did for our shrimp scampi. So it's going to complement it nicely. The only difference is this is going to be a cream sauce, a creamy sauce. Okay, so I'm going to add approximately a little less than 1/4 of a cup, just a little bit less, 1/4 of a cup of some white wine. I'm using a Pinot Grigio, same type of wine that I used for the shrimp scampi. And we're just going to cook that up just a little bit. That white wine smells good. Now I'm going to be adding a cup of cream, And we're going to be doing half a cup of milk. For our cream sauce. Give that a nice stir. Now I'm going to be using not even a tablespoon of flour, just to thicken the sauce up just a little bit, because we are going to be adding cheese, Parmesan cheese to this, but we want it just a little bit on the thicker side. So I'm going to cook that flour. Let me get my rubber spatula just to make sure that there are no lumps with that flour. And my oven has preheated, so I'm going to put my scallops in. Okay, my scallops, and I'm going to put that in there for 8 minutes, turn it halfway through. Okay, this is looking good. Okay, now let me add my cheese. I'm using Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, and I'm using approximately 1/4 of a cup. And I'm going to mix that cheese in there. See, it's going to make it not only thicker, but it's going to give it a little nice flavor too. Very nice. See how nice and thick that is already? I'm going to lower the heat now. So we want this on a low heat. And look at that. Can you see how nice and thick it got? Not too thick. You don't want it too thick, but this is a great consistency. You can see how it's coating the back of that spoon, and that's what you want. Very nice. Now I am going to add some garlic powder to this, probably like a little more than a teaspoon. And we're going to add salt and pepper. I have this on the lowest setting possible right now. So very low heat now. Going to add my salt. Probably about a teaspoon of salt. And about a teaspoon of pepper. You can put red pepper flakes in here if you want. You could add a little bit of that. Just going to add just a tiny bit. And you can see that, like, everything we're using here is pretty much like what we used, except for the cream and the milk, of course. But this is going to be such a nice sauce, and it's going to complement that shrimp scampi so well. Now I'm going to use the lemon zest. From a lemon. I shouldn't have cut it. I already cut it. Forgot to get the zest first, but it's okay. Right? Look at that beautiful lemon zest. This is an OXO zester I always talk about. I love this zester. All right, now, now we can squeeze out the lemon. And for one lemon, it's usually around 3 to 4 tablespoons. I'm just doing half a lemon for the juice, okay? Has that zest. It's going to be just enough lemon flavor for this. So, very nice. Let me give it a taste. Mmm. Yummy. Excellent sauce. Very good. I just turned my scallops around just a little bit. It has another about 4 minutes to go. My sauce is done. It tastes great. And then my pasta right here, the water is boiled. I added a good amount of salt and I put the linguine noodles in there, and that'll take about 10 minutes to cook. Then when we come back, I should say, that's when we'll have a taste test. I'm going to show you how I put it in the plate that I'm going to serve at Christmas time. Remember, it has all those little compartments. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so I just took my scallops out of the oven and they look so good and it smells great. So now we're going to wait for our pasta to finish cooking and then we're going to assemble our plate. Okay, so we're ready to plate it. Now remember, this is the plate that I'm going to use for Christmas and it has these 5 compartments. So we said we're going to put the fish pie in the middle. On one side is going to be the shrimp scampi and then the other side is going to be the scallops. So right across from it. So I'm going to plate it now. Let me get my plate. And I got my linguine noodles here. So remember that these are in little tiny sections. Okay, so because it's going to be a lot of food, a lot of fish dishes. So about this portion is just going to be perfect, you know. Now we're going to add our delectable sauce, our creamy sauce, to the pasta. All right, you want to make sure you have a nice amount of sauce. That pasta will absorb that sauce. And then we're going to add our scallops on top. So when you're serving it, maybe about 3 would be good. I like odd numbers there. Maybe drip just a little bit of the sauce over that. Now, like I said, these scallops are already seasoned and already is made in a butter sauce, but we're going to taste it to see what it tastes like mixed together. So now we're gonna have a taste test. Okay, so let's have a taste test, see what it tastes like. Oh, that's good. That is really good. Maybe with a little lemon wedge and also some extra Parmesan cheese. That's a winner. Perfect. So you can see how easy it is. And when we're doing our 7 fish dishes at Christmas time, this one is going to go just like that. And it's going to be so good on this plate. Thank you so much for joining us today on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye.